I'm going to let Janis G and Janis T over at the Board Game Hangover introduce this video. Take it away, guys.
You have no board games anymore. It's gone, all gone. You have to start a new collection. And you have only 100 euros to do that.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to do one better. Instead of doing it 5 games for 100 euros, I'm going to do 5 games to restart your collection for 100 Canadian dollars. So let's get started. See what I've got. My first game is Cockroach Poker. This is a game for 2 to 6 players, and what you don't want is 4 of a kind face up on the table in front of you. You deal out the entire deck to everybody who's playing, and the first person then takes a card face down and places it in front of another player. They declare that card one of the 8 critters that are printed on the card. Then the person who's receiving that card has to either agree, disagree, or pass. Now, if they're right, the other person who passed it to them has to put it up front in front of them. If they're wrong, then they put it up face up in front of themselves. And that's how you're going to lose. If you do that too many times, you're going to get 4 of a kind in front of you, and that's it. Game over. Everybody else wins. So there really is only one loser, and everybody else wins. Because if you run out of cards in your hand and you can't pass a card to somebody else, that's another way to lose the game. Because really everybody else will win and you have no cards, so you can't win. You'll lose. Great game. This ticks a few boxes. There's the 2-player box. There's also 6+, because it is up to 6 players. It's travel for sure. And it's a very easy teach. Very easy teach. I mean, you can, I taught this game to my group in under 5 minutes, less than that, I guess, because we did a playthrough and it was so fast. So I think this is a perfect start to restarting your board games if you only have $100. Okay, so what's my next game? Let me put this one away. Next up, I have Rolling Realms. Now, this game is it's a roll and write game for 1 to 6 players. You roll 2 gigantic die, and you use the results from that to fill in spaces on your realm cards, and try to score the most points. Points being stars. And the interesting thing is that each one of these realm cards, named after a Stonemaier game, by the way, quite clever, scores differently. And that's what makes the game so interesting. And the person who scores the most stars at the end of 3 rounds is the winner. Now, again, this is a very, well, it's not a very simple game because each of the realm cards that you're scoring on is a different way, it has a different way of scoring. Then it takes a little bit of extra time to learn, so it's not an easy teach. However, it does check a lot of other boxes. You can play solo. Now, the solo variant is really cool. It's like a golf course, and on it you have a different task for each hole, and you use different realms and score differently for each hole. So it is very, very challenging as a solo game. It's great for 2-player all the way to 6-player. And I also think if you add another base set, you can play even more people. And in fact, I think Stonemeyers have said that you can play over the internet. It's quite simple, and that makes it 6+ for sure. And also, I know it's not fitting in your pocket, but it's definitely a travel game. Because if you can't fit this into a bag of some kind, then you're taking way too many shoes or clothes. Get your priorities straight. Games. Okay, what's next? Next on the list is, it's a party game for how many people? I think it's 4 to 8 people, and that is Fun Facts. Now, I've talked about Fun Facts before. What you're trying to do is you answer each turn, you answer a question, a personal question actually, with a number. So I'm going to give you an example. Let me pick a card. So whatever one comes up, this better be good. How much do you enjoy dancing? And you answer the number from 0 to 100. Now, for me, I would write on my eraser board, you put your name on it, by the way, I would write on my eraser board 0. Oops, because 0. And what you're trying to do is place your board on the table in ascending order, so that when revealed, the numbers will be in an ascending order. It's a great game to break the ice with people. It is good among friends because you can learn a little bit more about your friends. And it's a cooperative game because you're trying to beat the best score. If you're playing 8 players, you can score 64. So your best score is 64. I'm thinking of another game. So your best score would be 64. Perfect. No more secrets between you. I think this game appeals to a lot of different people, and that's why I added it into this mix of new games. Because I think you need a party game that would do for a large group of people. And this fits the bill for sure. We did not do so well in this game, I don't think. I think the most we got, well, we did 4 players, and we scored 27 out of 4 players. Now, what's the best you can score for 4 players? The best you can score is 32. We did 27. Not so bad. Not so bad. Okay, so what boxes does it tick? Well, this one is certainly not a solo game. This is your co-op game. This is 6+. It's definitely an easy teach. I mean, I just taught it to you in a minute. Now, again, this is a travel game, I think. Again, it's not going to fit your pocket because travel, let's be honest, we're taking a bag. And if you're not able to fit a game like this into a bag, come on, people. Cut back on the underwear. So yeah, this is one of those games I would put in that 5 games to start your collection. So let's see what's next. The next game on my list would be Red Rising. Now, you don't have to have read the novels to play this game. I didn't read the novels. I didn't know there were novels available. I got this on sale. I was thrilled. You are in this game playing one of I believe it's 6 houses. You choose at random, and you are trying to rise your house to power, and you do that by scoring points. Card combinations. It is a card game, after all, and it's hand management. A lot of hand management. And there are 3 ways in which you are trying to score points. You can score points on the fleet track, which moves your marker along here, scoring you points as you go. You can also score points in the Institute, but my personal favorite is
scoring helium. I like the helium.
And of course, the person who reaches a certain limit on 2 of these scoring charts wins the game. And I'm going to read from the rules to make sure I get this correctly. But in ending the game, the game ends when all 3 of these conditions are met by any combination of players. So if 2 players have 1 each and another player has another, like, as long as 3 players are involved and all 3 of those things, these things that I'm going to mention, have happened, game ends. Or if 1 player has 2 of these game-ending conditions, you get 7 on the fleet track. You get 7 points in the institution, or you get
7 helium tokens.
Now, if you have 2 of those as a single player, game's over. And that's how you win the game. Okay, so this is definitely great for solo. It's great for 2-player. 6 plus, well, it goes up to 6. It is thematic. There's no question that it's thematic. But I would say it's an easy teach. I might get a pushback on this, but I say it's an easy teach. It wasn't that hard to learn. The rules are just really well written, and it's not that difficult to learn. So I say it's an easy teach. So it ticks all those boxes. So let's see what's next. Okay, the last game on my list is Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition, where you play a corporation attempting to transform Mars. And actions you take throughout the game earn you victory points, and the player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins. There are a lot of ways to earn victory points. I'm not going to go through the whole game. Trust me, there are better videos out there that can teach you the rules of this game and how to play. But essentially what you're trying to do is increase oxygen on Mars, increase the temperature on Mars, and discover water or create water. You do that in ways of resources, and you use your player card here, player board, to manage those resources. There's card play, and in the end, the person who, or when Mars is actually terraformed, that being oxygen is at its full capacity as the temperature is its highest, and all of the water tokens are showing, it's time to add up the scores. It's a very good game, a very complicated game, and I would say well worth putting on your list, because you can play this solo. You can play it 2-player, up to 4-player. It is definitely thematic. There's no question. It's thematic. We're talking about Mars here, transforming Mars here. But the thing that this game is that the others that I've spoken about aren't, is resource management. This is the only euro on the list. But it is, as I say, well worth putting on your list of your 5 if you're starting over. So that's my list. Let's add everything up and see how I did. Okay, so cockroach poker, $11 Canadian. Now, Rolling Realms was $18 Canadian. 18. My most expensive of the 5 was Fun Facts, and this one was $28. Not happy about that one, but I needed a party game. Surprisingly, Red Rising was a mere $20. $20 on sale. And Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, $20. Canadian dollars. That brings my grand total to $97. And in euros, by today's standard, that is 67 euros. Not bad. So those are my 5 games. What are yours? I want to hear from you. What are the 5 games you would start with? And do it for under 100 Canadian dollars. I challenge you. Until next time, remember, we're all in this together. Cheers.